And welcome to week 21 foundations activities. Before we get started, remember, we will need our foundations notebook, and this is week 21, so you should have your section in your book of knowledge set up as week 21. You will need a writing tool, your growth mindset, and when you write, you will sit in the writing position. At the end of each activity, you will go to your Seesaw evidence journal for your foundations lesson and turn in evidence that you completed the activity. Remember, the most important part is that you're recording to show me that you actually learned the words. And it's okay to struggle a little, that'll let me know to help you. All right? So let's get started on today's activity, shall we? So let's get started on activity 1, shall we? In your foundations notebook, we are going to learn this week's high frequency words. So you should already have, and pause if you have not set up your foundations notebook for week 21, and we are starting with number 1. Let's follow our steps to learn our words. The first word is air. Repeat the word after me, air. We should go outside for some fresh air. Say the word again after me, air. Let's look at the letters in the word. Spell the letters out loud with me. A-I-R, air. In this word, the letters A-I-R stand for the sound air. And what do we notice in this word? We see this chunk, or this vowel team, as we might want to call it, A-I. And we know that this chunk is A, as in rain. So if we blend these words, air. All right, so this is not a hard word, is it? This is the spelling of the word air. So please pick up your writing tool and blend to write the sounds you hear in air. Go ahead. Air. Pull those sounds through. It's important to remember the spelling for the A sound in air. All right, check your word against the screen. As soon as you got it, let's go on. We're on number 2. The word is city. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Remember, when I say look at the word, we should be looking at the word. We're just thinking about the word. Even if we already know it, we're making those chunks really solid so we know them in any word. So repeat the word after me. City. The city has tall buildings and lots of traffic. Say the word again after me. City. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. C-I-T-Y. City. In this word, the letter C, did you notice? Stands for the S sound, or the soft C, right? And this is because, do you remember the rule? When do we use this for the soft sound? When it's followed by, yes, good job. When this is followed by I, E, or Y, we use the C for the soft S sound. We call that cedilla-C, but that's kind of silly, so you don't have to know all that, but just know when you see words or spell words with the S sound followed by I, E, or Y, we use C for that sound. All right, and what other sounds do we notice? You notice the vowel sound. Yes, that's important. Which one? City, 2-syllable word, has 2 vowel sounds, doesn't it? Go ahead and clap out the word. City, clap it out. In the first syllable, si, what is the vowel sound in the first syllable? Yeah, that letter's making that sound, but what is the sound? I, got it. Right? Icky, I. It's making the short I sound. And in the second syllable, city, we hear what vowel? We hear the E, don't we? That's because this letter here, the Y, is standing for the E sound at the end of a two-syllable word. We call that vowel I. 2 syllables, E. All right? Do you see how the sounds are spelled in these words? Getting a little tricky, isn't it? All right, pick up your writing tool and blend to write the sounds you hear in the word city. Don't look at the screen, try to blend to write each syllable. City, because that'll bring in all that knowledge you have about those sounds into each syllable. All right, go ahead. City. When you are done, look at your word. Blend to read your word. Do you have the sounds you need for city? And then check your word against the screen to see if you have the correct spellings for the sounds you hear in the word city. Pretty cool to finally use that cedilla C, isn't it? All right, if you're ready, we are going to go on. If you need to, you can pause the screen at any time. We're on number 3. The word is friend. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Friend. I care about my friend. Say the word again after me. Friend. Very good. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. Spell it with me now. F-R-I-E-N-D. What did you notice? What do you wonder? In this word, the letters I-E stand for the short eh sound. Friend. Right? So that might be a hard part of this word. Tell me the sounds you hear in friend. Go ahead. 5 sounds. Let's do it again together. I didn't say the sounds because I want you to say the sounds first. All right, so now do it with me. Tell me the sounds you hear in the word friend. Go. F-R-E-N-D. Notice is not one sound. That's what I heard somebody say. F-R-E-N-D. In the word friend. This is a tricky word, isn't it? This is how I know how to spell the word friend. And I want to give you this little hint before you write it. So do you see this word inside the word friend? What is that word? End. So this is how I remember how to spell friend. I remember a movie, Buzz Lightyear, and Woody, one of the characters, said to Buzz, "You'll be my friend till the end." Or no, he didn't say that. He said, "I will be your friend till the end," didn't he? And so this is how I remember how to say that. Do you see the word I right here? I will be your friend till the end. So I remember that this word friend, I will be your friend till the end. Do you see that? Let me erase the mess so you can see. I will be your friend till the end. So of course we need the we know those sounds, but in friend it's a little different, isn't it? So if we just remember, I will be your friend till the end. We put the and then we put I and end. All right, you got it? Pick up your pencil and blend to write friend. Keep that in mind. I will be your friend till the end. Begin. End. Because we don't hear that I, do we? In friend. That I is silent. The IE is saying eh. That's a really irregular chunk, but that is a chunk. IE can sometimes say eh. Like in friend. So we're going to remember, I will be your friend till the end. And indeed, my friends, I will be your friend till the end. All right, check your word against the screen. Let's go on. So we are on number 4. On number 4, what do you notice? What do you wonder? The word is hair. Let's follow the steps. Say the word after me, hair. This is my hair. Let's spell the word out loud. Spell it with me now. H-A-I-R. What do you notice when you wonder about the sounds in hair? Tell me the sounds in hair. A-er. Do you recognize anything from another one we just did? You notice that chunk? That chunk is a word by itself, isn't it? Also, in hair, you told me the sounds are A-er. The A sound in this word is spelled with A-I. And that's a regular spelling for that sound, isn't it? So, pick up your writing tool and blend to write hair. The sound you hear in hair. Begin. A-er. I like the way I hear the sound as you're writing the sound. That really helps me to know, and yourself to know, that these sounds are actually getting programmed into our brains, right? All right. As soon as you're done, check your word against the screen and let's move on. We are on number 5. The word is heard. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Heard. I heard the phone ring last night. Say the word again after me. Heard. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. H-E-A-R-D. Heard. In this word, the letters E-A-R stand for the sound. So that's one of the sounds we hear, but it's spelled with all of those letters, isn't it? Blend to tell me the sounds you hear in this word. Go ahead. I'm watching your fingers to show me the sounds. Blend the sounds. How many sounds did you hear? Let's blend it again. Okay, now I'll do it with you because some of you are still saying 5 sounds. Let's blend these sounds. Tell me the sounds. D. 3 sounds in heard. It's a lot of letters in this word, but there's only 3 sounds. Do you notice how the sound is spelled in the middle of the word, like we just talked about, right? So now we are going to blend to write heard. We're going to try to do it without looking at the screen. Look at your paper and say the sounds as you write the sounds in heard. Go ahead. There's 3 sounds. Remember how it's spelled. Go ahead. Heard. When you're done, look at your paper and see if you have all the sounds you need for the sounds in heard. After you have checked your paper, then check it against the screen to see if you've used the correct spellings for the sound in heard. Really, that's the only spelling you really need to check because the first sound and the ending sound d. Those are regular spellings, right? It's just that sound has many spellings. Good job. If you're ready, we'll go on. If you're not, go ahead and pause. We are on number 6. The word is learn. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Learn. We learn many things in school. Say the word again after me. Learn. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. L-E-A-R-N. Learn. What do we notice? What do we wonder? The letters E-A-R in learn are standing for the sound. Kind of like they did in our last word, isn't it? Did you notice that? So, tell me the sounds you hear in learn. Remember, I want to see it on your fingers so I can see what you're counting as they sound. Okay, go ahead. Tell me the sounds you hear in learn. Good job. I noticed this time you said n. 3 sounds in learn. It has that 3-letter spelling for the sound once again, doesn't it? This is great practice for that spelling for the sound. Pick up your writing tool and blend to write the sounds you hear in learn. Ooh, I had to pull that sound through, didn't you? That means I had to hold that note. I like the way you're saying the sounds as you're writing the sounds. That really helps to make it solid. Remember, we're doing about 5 practice items at once to save us some time for the good stuff, my friends. All right. Check your word against the screen. Make sure you have indeed used the correct spelling for the sound in learn. And of course, make sure you use the correct spellings for the beginning sound and the ending sound, and n. When you're ready, we'll go on. If not, you know how to pause it. Okay, we are on number 7. The word is looked. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Looked. I looked everywhere for my backpack. Say the word again after me. Looked. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. Spell it with me now. Say the letters out loud. L-O-O-K-E-D. And the word is looked. What do we notice? What do we wonder? See some chunks? A couple chunks, aren't there? So, I agree. In this word, the letters O-O stands for the sound U. All right? The E-D at the end of a word signals something that's already happened. Remember that suffix? Something that's already happened, right? And if this is indeed suffix ed, then that means all of the rest of the word, it is a base word by itself. And I think it is. Look. All right? So now I want you to, and I'm listening for something we haven't talked about yet. The sound of this ed in this word. So when you tell me the sounds, I want to see what sound you make in looked. Tell me the sound you hear in looked. Go ahead. Okay, let's blend those sounds or segment those sounds together. Do it with me now. Looked. Looked. First sound, look. And that ed in this word is saying t. Remember, suffix ed. When we see ed at the end of a root word, it says ed, d, or t. Actually, just one of those things, but it's ed, d, or t. And in this word, it is t. So remember that as you're blending to write, you're going to make the t sound, but you're going to write suffix ed. All right? So pick up your writing tool, turn on your vocal cords, and get ready to blend to write looked. Go ahead. Looked. Looked. Today I look in the sky. Yesterday I looked in the sky. Makes it mean already happened. All right, check your word against the screen. Make sure you have indeed used the correct spellings for the sounds you hear in looked. Let's go on to the next word, shall we? We are on number 8. The word is remember. Let's follow the steps. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Remember. When I pause, I'm giving you time to say it. Repeat the word after me again. Remember. My parents remember the day I was born. Say the word again after me. Remember. Let's look at the letters in the word. Spell it out loud with me now. Say the letters with me now. R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. That's a long word. Remember. What do we notice? What do we wonder? We notice that's a long word, so we know if we just chunk it and read it by syllables, we're going to have no problem. So, before we talk about the sounds, let's talk about the syllables in the word remember. So go ahead and clap it out. Tell me the syllables or word parts or chunks in remember. Go. Remember. So to recognize the patterns in each syllable, I'm going to mark what you tell me as the syllable. Tell me the syllables in the word remember. You can clap it out if you need to. Go ahead. Remember. Remember. Do you see how chunking it really helps me to isolate the patterns? So now what do you notice? What do you wonder? In this word, the letter E in the first syllable, it stands for the re, the E sound. We hear re, the long sound, because that's an open syllable, right? How about the next syllable here? We want to think about what the vowel's doing, right? Eh, you're right. Eh. In this syllable, mem, the E is saying eh. Re-mem. So it's two sounds for that letter, isn't it? But wait, there's another E in this word. Does this say et or E? Goodness, no, because we noticed this chunk at the end of a word. And what is this sound at the end of a word? E-R, at the end of a word, isn't it? So we have the letter E 3 times in this word. 3 different sounds because of the pattern they're in. Pretty cool, isn't it? So, before you pick up your writing tool, I want you to once again tell me the syllables in remember. Clap it out. Remember. That is what you are going to blend to write when you blend to write this word. Pick up your pencil and blend to write the sound you hear in each syllable in remember. Go ahead. We hear re, mem, b-er, E-R, at the end of a word. Look at your word first. Check your spellings for those sounds and remember. After you've checked your word and tried to find your own mistake, look at the screen. If you look at the screen to find your mistakes, you are spotlighting your errors. If you caught them on your own, you don't need to spotlight them because that means you indeed have learned the patterns. All right? Let's go on. Our next word is number 9. Number 9. The word is stood. Let's follow the steps. Let's look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Stood. We stood up to stretch our legs. Say the word again after me. Stood. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. Spell it with me now. S-T-O-O-D. Stood. Remember, I say the word again after I spell it because I want to focus on sounds when I'm spelling and reading and writing, right? The letters in this word, what do you notice? What do you wonder? Stood. Right, I like that chunk too. I see that chunk. I like the way you're not focusing just on the beginning of the word, but you're looking for those vowel chunks, aren't you? Because you know that's the part that might flex it. All right? So, blend with me the sound you hear in stood. Show me the sound you hear in stood. Go. Did you count 4 sounds? I heard somebody say 3 sounds. You didn't pull your blend apart. Focus on your blends, consonant blends. Somebody said st-ud. What's wrong with that? Well, there's nothing wrong with it. Those are the sounds. But this sound they put right here, st, is 2 sounds, isn't it? So let's do it together. And let's pull apart that blend. Because we have to know that a blend can be pulled apart. All right? Tell me the sound you hear in the word stood on your hand. Let's go together. St-ud. You got it? Pick up your writing tool and blend to write the sounds you hear in stood, the sounds we just said. Go ahead. St-ud. And then I'm going to read it. Stood. And then I'm going to check it against the screen to make sure I use the correct spellings for the sounds I hear in stood. Good job. The next one is number 10. Let's go on. Number 10. The word is street. Look at the word. Repeat the word after me. Street. Look both ways before you cross the street. Say the word again after me. Street. Look at the letters in the word. Let's spell it out loud. And wait, let's stop for a second. I want to remind you that spell it out loud means to say the letter names as we spell it. That's really the only time we use letter names, isn't it? Is when we're telling somebody how to spell something. All right? So with me, say the letter names with me to spell it. Go. S-T-R-E-E-T. Street. What do we notice? What do we wonder? I like the way you're always noticing first the vowel chunks. So in this word, you're right. The letters E-E stand for the long E sound. E. Like bumblebee party. And those are the only vowel teams in this word, right? Street. It's the only vowel sound. Do you notice anything else? Yes. This blend right here, can be broken apart, right? I want to give you that hint before you tell me the sounds. All right, now, on your hand, show me the sounds in street. Go. E. I think that hint helped you with that 3-letter blend in it. Stir, eat. All right? Pick up your writing tool and blend to write the sound you hear in street. Remember, as I say the sound, I write the sound. As I write the sound, I say the sound. Begin. Eat, street. Notice, after I blended to write my word, I blended to read my word by looking at my paper. I didn't look up at the screen until then. I thought I had it right as well as I could do, and then I checked it against the screen. Because I want to give myself the best chance of learning, not just getting a perfect paper, right? All right, great job. Now's our favorite part. Let's read all the new words we learned together, starting on the first line. So we're going to start with number 1. And remember, the goal is not just to write these words or talk about them. The goal is to be able to use these patterns and read these words, right? And so if you are having trouble reading these words, you can go back, rewind to that part, and practice those words again. Maybe those are the part you need to concentrate on the sounds and the spellings for the sound so you can read your paper. Not what's on the screen, but you'll be able to read your paper, which is really great, isn't it? So from the top to the bottom, let's practice to make sure we can read them. Begin on your own. Go. Air, city, friend, hair, heard, learned, looked, remember, stood, street. And notice I didn't show you what I was reading because I want you to read at your own pace. If there's a word you cannot read, I would highlight it and learn that word before you go turn in your evidence. Because I want to hear you read to me. All right? Thank you for your time today for Activity 1 of Week 21. Good job. That's the end of today's activity. Remember, right now, first thing you're going to do is turn in your evidence. And remember, the most important thing about turning in your evidence is that I want you to read to me. So when you go to your Seesaw Journal, Foundations Evidence Journal, you are going to take a beautiful snapshot of your paper. Not of you, of your paper. Then push the microphone and record anything you did today. All right? Then you are going to move on to your your reading rotations. Since you're already in your foundations notebook, that's where you're going to start. If there's something else, another activity on that page for today, you are going to also do that activity. That's right next to where you turn in your evidence. So this evidence is here with a little microphone where you recorded it and you finish that activity. Then you save the draft. This is a knowledge bank of everything you're creating. All right? I'll see you in small group. Toodaloo, Tigers, you do know what to do.